Does Kuno care? Kuno? Kuno thinks you have brain.
Kuno, stop!
Ease off, see? Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno can do. The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come in. Kuno.
Now it's turning into a kind of a...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and a metallic drill. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The white suede feels luxurious as you tap on...
No, that's enough fun with the folder.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will...
Her voices fade out.
Gottlieb, what is it now?
Anything else I can help you with? Does it... Sylvie Malaika? Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? No? Not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought no one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here. I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the union. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, go on.
You hear the...
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it's 50...
In the cabin, you see...
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! Honest men and women, we came here to...
I have a...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No, we were promised...
The physically impressive...
You keep coming back. That's good, officer. Keep browsing those clothes, keep saying.
You find your...
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless. The sneakers triumph over them. They're the star of the show here.
Everything still... The shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
You see rows of toy soldiers, big men on big...
Franco-Nigerian knights.
They're not all blue. These
Which ones?
This set of
You're probably... I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. I don't like either, Sev.
All the old boomboxes are... A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
700 real.
A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet-talk you into buying trash.
There's also the matter of rewiring. But the most important transformation is the lights. It was brought to me.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
An old monument stands. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio. It's the ledger you found in the tree. An aluminium, a bunch of sodden papers sagged from the clipboard in your hand.
Still here, stuck in this.
The door is closed again. A plaster cast, but honestly, he does kind of look like...
The White Star, the photos...
Give me a moment. What?
Would she understand?
If it ain't Mark, I think we'd all be better off. If people ask away, policeman. The RTs, she leaves an old lady.
She mumbles some kind of a...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
There'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance. But you...
She throws...
Have you noted this place?
She's making a valiant effort to come off as a knight.
You got me pictured.
But I'm still gonna write some damn good graffiti-o on this wall.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? What we do?
There was a touch of discomfort there.
The Pines call, and that is...
The Wild Pines Group is one of the...
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. And to think, Wild Pines employs 72,000. They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade, but centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system, you know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original you mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo, we built this district.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Just before a company getaway.
With your help, hopefully.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I...
She wants to answer the question. Protocol.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of... Yes, she prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an... I can't. All right.
Suddenly, you're not so sure. Of course, no time for silly infracultures. There are more pressing... She won't maneuver her way out.
I...
It's sharp.
Yes, I can see you thought...
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire.
A devil, who being of great charm and guile, sneaketh into the homes of the godly.
That dialect is obscene. You beneath her waterproof raincoat and silk shirt is a body imbibed in numb 12 perfume. You are suddenly and intimately aware of it.
I hope so. I hope we are able to continue as friends despite my scaly bulk. When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left. With due respect, I would not have relinquished them for my daughters. We had an obligation, perhaps.
You're no dummy yourself.
A smart boy getting smarter, yes. Whatever else I am. I'm also a mother. A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions? Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terror. Or two. A pre-revolution. This one used mostly the splats. Wonderful. Glad to have been of assistance. The little...
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. Your money disappears into the coin slot. The curtains on the display open. You lean in. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, it looks as if it was abandoned quite some... Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind. The little brave birch tree.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coins, the metal feels...
Probably some kids.
A thick layer of graffiti. That's Kuno. Under the graffito, you know this to be the star of... There. Working class drunk. You know what this means. Cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk is. No, it's not. Yes, and you found him. Now go and tell the working class woman. Didn't she repeatedly tell you her husband isn't missing? But he is missing. There's no need for champagne. Old East Delta Commerce Center. This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. This button.
This button looks new. I wouldn't be surprised.
You hear the same. You ring. What an. Just seeing the words. All you hear is static. You ring the doorbell. But you wait for a minute. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a light. Silence. No one's home. Silence. No one answers the doorbell. Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you. Silence. No one answers your call. The note is written. You find the filament memory with.
Really? You don't have a single. Oh, I'm sure that child would love. Really? I'm placing my bets on a certain red-hat miscreant, Sulislav.
It's just a racist, but a worn map, a crinkled chewing gum. You feel compelled. You carefully. The face of King Freecell smiles at you. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extreme.
Oh yes, certainly. Another good sale. It is a bestseller for a reason.
A cockatoo is a. This book talks about the delicate. The cover of this behind him. These images speak to something the back blurb below. A brazen attempt to bilk fan. Their main concern is the story opens. By nightfall, only the man from here. 9 Tyribald. The man. It is physically and with deadly finesse. His twin. A few chapters later. The man from here. This book makes a mockery of the very idea. The Northmen find them. The man from Heimdall extracts a high price from the desperate king. He asks land for the homeless desert pygmies living exiled in the kingdom's borderlands. Hrothgar offers the hand of his. You skip past in the center of the great. As the vials. This is what you came for, isn't it? A climatic blood. Swiftly, the visitors toss off their cloaks. In an instant, oh for fuck's sake, when the din of battle settles, only the man from Heimdall and Tyribald remains. What? In the first scene, the man from here. An excellent question, considering the sheer. The man from Heimdall. The Greatest Innocence. By Joa. Browsing through the book, your educational survey is done. Probably for the best. The edges of the pages, the jacket copy proclaims, man from Heimdall. He is ambushed by a truck. You open the book to his arms were. Good God, this is. You flip to the copyright page. This book was written in 38. Berserker rage burn. Man from Heimdall. The steel muscles of man from Heimdall gleam. A passage reads, thine spells are. I have grand plan. This is beyond primitive. What do you even know about literature? Have you ever read a book in your life? This is not just another book. You open his arm. Good God. You flip to the copyright page. Berserker rage burns in his azure-hued eye. Man from Heimdall. The steel muscles of man from Heimdall. A passage reads, thine spell. I have grand. This is beyond primitive. In the final, to find out what happens next. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. Shelves filled to the brim.
Oh, you're a...
Note. Shelves full of browsing. Suddenly, high speed next to.
I really... I'm sorry.
Several maps have been attached to it. The maps look old and faded. This bookstore is amidst the point of the book. It serves wholeness when it's up to your mind. Various paranatural books still litter.
I can't have you end up...
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are
Wonderful choice, sir. A wholesome family game.
in your hand. The cover features the exact location and the box. Even before you open it, you can tell the plastic. There's a hiss as the lid. Welcome to suzerainty. The colorful illustration. You begin to see the instruction. You soon figure out the basic conceit. Each player represents an administrator for the That's where the suzerains each turn as you leaf through. Remember, boring, boring, boring. Tear up this rulebook and commit. The actual scoring system appears. You open up a number of pouches containing wooden tokens. There are also several in addition from the Empire of...
Oh, those are nice.
Each cardboard...
What?
You hold the open game box. The lieutenant looks over the rulebook.
Holy shit. The average playing time for this game is 1. I'm not sure we can afford to set aside that kind of time for a game.
Woman in.
I would really...
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCA.
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you? By the... Okay, fine.
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
You look like... And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Oh, don't be so modest.
Oh, come on.
It's not just this week.
There's something. He might be wearing a disguise.
I'm not getting involved in this.
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like? No, not like a revolutionary. Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response.
No. 'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you actually...
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say...
Hear that suddenly.
So, do you know who hanged him? Yeah, I don't know.
It's like you felt it would be.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? What is it? Watch out for... again? I can't believe this shit.
There's something exactamundo. Of course, you don't have to. You can talk about anything you want.
Always a pleasure. I mean, officers.
I've got nothing to say to you, like I already told you.
The edges of the pages, the jacket copy, he is ambushed by a tribe of female. You open the book, his arms were, good God, this is some You flip to the copyright page. This book was written, Berserker Rage burns in his Man from Heimdall, right, the steel muscles of Man from Heimdall gleam in the humid. A passage reads, the man, thine spells are no match for purity. I have grand plans for you, Man from Heimdall. She gestures in the final pages. To find out what happens next, you'll have the Man from Heimdall. The edges of the pages, you open the book, his arms, good God, this is some. You flip to the copyright page. This book, Berserker Rage burns. Man from Heimdall rides on a gilded, the steel muscles of Man from Heimdall. A passage reads, thine spells are no. I have grand plans for you, Man. In the final pages, to find out what happens next. A cockatoo is a This book talks about the delicate nature of you're right. Not great for performing. Yeah, this is a yellow-tailed black. You're right. Not great performing. Yes. The greatest innocent. Browsing through your educational survey is done. It seems rather. Oh yeah. This is incorrect. Sola resigned after an assassin. Incorrect. Her colors are. Steer clear of this one. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. A pop quiz. Thanks for Dolores Day. Correct. Nothing as the first in question 2. Who? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to. Correct. Franco Negro attempted. Question 3. Who got it under control? Correct. The most famous final stretch. I've got it. Honest. Correct. Everything from congratulations and A. All correct. You really navigated some treacherous waters here, but endless tries. The note is written with a blue pencil.
Sulislav. Wasn't he? Really? You don't... Oh, I'm sure that child...
The edges of the page, the jacket copy, he is ambushed. You open his arm. Good God, you flip to the copyright page. The edges of the page. This door is made for no one.
Let's go.
No one.
Let's go.
As you this must be it.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours. Must have slipped my mind. You know how...
The metal grill is... You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid. His right...
Oh, I'm fine. I was practically born to infiltrate underground communist cells, which is just to say, we should be prepared for any...
You can make out. The voices are met. The clang of metal revert. A pair of frightened...
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice? Ever hear of the Wayfarer Act, you coalition pawn? Come back with...
For a moment, silent.
What's the passphrase? Did he say something about sausages?
There's no response.
Alright. The keys taped to the back of the door frame. And do wash the concrete.
Charmant. After you.
Have fun at your underground.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is.
It's definitely not holding. Those matchboxes are...
Careful, careful. Damn, hardly any difference. You two, you are late.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
Uh-oh. No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one.
Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
Maybe they can explain themselves.
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently. For two, it's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could, with predictable results.
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we're running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Comrade Stepan is a great discussion leader. One of the best.
It's obvious they take this group of theirs extremely seriously. Whatever you do, can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of Beano-clads yanking each other's knobs?
That's our whole thing. World is so shallow, all-knowing.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Huh. As though you can call that problem teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university.
We are post-attendance.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Recherche. We study all the foundations.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we...
Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
We've also read Wertmüller's...
Communist theorists love puns.
Hablars une pain infernale.
The original Fisdale...
These two deserve the Order of...
Obviously.
But... of course.
One of Krasmazov's closest. Today, Nielsen's reputation has waned in most parts of the developed world. With the young man raises his fist in reply and gives you a curt.
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nielsen who first...
Pleasant, huh? The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
We typically only accept new members once, but given that we have some...
Steban, you can't be...
I am serious. Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
What's there to be scared of? You've really been cracking the books these last few days. You can go. You've spent a not inconsiderable amount of time arranging. Now, chin up. You've got this.
Oh, you want to start now?
You've caught him off balance.
Go ahead and take a seat. Why don't you tell us a bit about the books you're interested in? And we'll just see where the conversation goes. Aha, a real old-school pedestrian materialist. All right, we'll play. So what sort of practical works are we talking about? Cockatoos. Fascinating. So tell...
This is a good start. They're starting to loosen up. You feel relaxed and in control. This is a subject where you hold all the advantages.
I have to say, I never realized humans and cockatoos had... It makes sense though.
I believe it's man is the mirror of the...
These kids are eating out of your hand, practically. Another quarter of an hour disappears. Now you can sense things starting to slow down.
Don't you think, though, that you can only really understand current events if you have a firm background in history and political theory? Interesting.
Now's your chance to end this interview on a high note. Soon, you're in a lively, even if they won't.
But don't you think that pornographic fascist mythology gets pretty tiresome after a few books?
Let them know your interest in muscle man literature is much more high-minded than they're giving you credit for.
Oh, sure. We don't mean to deny the value of pleasure in reading. In any case, I think we've heard it.
Yes. I would say he's got serious
And with that, here's your first assignment. It's an overview of inframaterialist theory. You're going to fit right in, I think. Come back, do be sure to take your time with the reading.
waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bats.
Put your hands where I can see them. Show me your hands. This is the pace. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right.
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
You shouldn't be here. Something's very wrong with her. She's completely out of control.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, I am the police. Don't move. Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid...
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
You have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
It's a goddamn police shitbag. Cut the pavement. You're an officer in need of assistance. Suspect alert.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lock.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force.
Big red key. That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. She's frantic, confused, teetering under all that gear. There's an opening if you just move fast enough. If not, the lieutenant's got her in his sight.
Suicide by cop. Split-second decision.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? These gun barrels have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me?
Grab the gun.
No one ever...
This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified...
Whoa. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but...
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Yeah, looks like a bad case. But I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Okay, that settles it. I'll contact my station after we wrap it up for the day. But I think we're done here for now.
Please. Leave the...
Reflex to what? Being left alone. She stands motion.
Yes?
It's getting cold. This late in the night. Time to call it.
Good night, officer.
The bed is comforting. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer.
Hear that? You are naive to think it's much, much worse than that.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the...
of hell. And
everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for...
The last thought in your... Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
In the cabin, you see